Hey there, this is Felix from Goldammer Vintage Watches. Triple calendars hold a special place in the minds of many collectors. So today we would like to introduce you a classic example of a 1940s triple date calendar from JLC, set a little foot into the history, explain you the function of the movement, how many pieces were built and how many US dollar you have to spend for this piece back in the day. Entirely made by JLC, in this period the exactly same design and mechanism were reproduced by watchmakers like Cartier and Vacheron Constantin. It's a little known fact that Vacheron Constantin used to source its movements from JLC. So this triple calendar is a perfect example of how three companies overlapped on a certain model, and we think it's a shame that if the signature were Vacheron Constantin, even if we love this brand too, this would be a 5-figure watch. So this piece is clear a historical representation of JLC's design and manufacturing skills. In our opinion, there is no question that old triple calendars from JLC are some of the loveliest vintage watches out there. From the early years of triple calendar pieces, from the mid-1940s to the beginning 1950s, these watches were not the casual rarity they are today, but rather a useful tool in remembering the day, date and month in an era before satellite time and weather apps. Originally developed for the use in pocket watches before appearing as a feature in wristwatches in the 1920s, when Vacheron Constantin and Rolex began making them. Their popularity really took off in the mid-20th century, with several other brands introducing their own version like JLC with our today's piece. The round triple calendar by JLC was introduced in 1943 with 3 different calibers. The first one was the caliber 451A, which was produced between 1943 and 1944 in 400 pieces, then replaced by the caliber 464A between 1944 and 1945 in a production of 1,800 pieces. Then came the caliber 4848, our today's piece, which was used for both the triple date and the triple date moon phase, produced between 1945 and 1949 in a quantity of 8,250 movements. So 10,500 pieces were produced. Doesn't sound like a real rarity at first, right? But the fact is that these watches were never waterproof, and so it's very difficult to find unrestored pieces in good condition, and if they pop up on the market, they got traded very quickly. Some say that the triple date watch was discontinued in 1949, but on the web you can find several advertisements from the early 1950s, including the triple date. Also interesting is that you have to pay around $260 for a new triple date in the beginning 1950s. Aesthetically, the dial is perfectly balanced, allowing for easy and intuitive reading of the triple calendar indications. Just below 12 o'clock, trim apertures display the day and month, respectively in bold red lettering. As with the day-date complication, the day, date and month commonly sit on wheels that rotate each day, whilst the red tip date hand points to the date, which is shown on an outer chapter ring, also in red. Our today's piece is fitted in a 3-body stainless steel case in 36 mm, but you can also find these pieces in 18K rosé and yellow gold. Also interesting to know is that the original JLC triple date calendar collection served as the inspiration for the brand's modern Daymaster calendar. Like for the case, there were also different dials with one common thing: the beauty. Copper, silver, applied hour markers, or even associated with applied numbers, luminous or not, Dauphine hands or luminous skeleton, there was an impressive variation of possibilities. What we really love is how this dial has this wonderful 3D effect to it due to its layered design. This becomes clearer if you look at the watch from the side. Suddenly the gold applied numerals and indices jump in your face, which give the watch a really attractive depth. And not to forget this gorgeous formed teardrop lux. The triple date should not to be confused with the annual or perpetual calendar. These calendars are able to keep track of numbers of days in the month and even leap years if perpetual. The triple date is a simpler version of the calendar complication, which requires you to manually adjust the date depending on number of days in the month. At 2 and 4 o'clock, you will find two small pushers on the outer surface of the case. The lower is used to set the date, while the upper allows to change the month. The day is changed with the crown. Easy and practical. So that's all from today. We hope you enjoy this watch like we do and learn something new you haven't heard before. So have a great day and hope to see you in our next video.